At the beginning of the movie we are shown two men being carried by the mafia group to a location. They are Sonny and his best friend named Farzi. After his headgear is removed, this mafia asks who has made this fake money. Before the kidnapping, Sonny was a street artist who made money by selling his work for face painting. Sonny asking for a payment of 500 rupee. With his talent, Sonny often makes copies of famous painters but still paid cheap. His talent is passed down from his grandfather named Madhav, who owns a newspaper and magazine. In addition to painting on the streets, Sonny and his best friend Farzi helps his grandfather in this printing house. The person his grandfather trusts as the head of production is Uncle Yasser. Unfortunately, the newspaper published by his grandfather was never read by Sonny. Madhav actually hoped Sonny developed this magazine and online, but because Sonny is technology illiterate, it only waiting for a time until this printing house went out of business. Since childhood, Sonny and the Farzi helped his grandfather to sell the newspapers, but most people were reluctant to read them and instead it was used to wrap fried bananas. From the sale of the newspapers they kept in their drawers, they both calculated that if they collected 250 rupee every day, it would take 110 years to become a billionaire. Since childhood, Sonny was more interested in learning painting than his grandfather, while Farzi learned printing from Uncle Yasser. One day, his grandfather's printing business had experienced a slump for a year. As a result, in the morning, afternoon, evening until night, they ate bread again and again. Since childhood, Sonny has a dream become rich who has a lot of money to buy branded and luxury goods. Only one fortune Sonny currently has, a beautiful girlfriend who has a lot of money and glamour style and her luxury car. Because she knows Sonny is a poor man, she doesn't want to take Sonny to celebrate New Year in luxury club. Sonny ridiculed by Farzi because with his old motorbike, gradually his girlfriend will leave him, and then they come to that luxury club to ask for tickets New Year's party. But the officers even insulted Sonny and the Farzi who wore flip-flops, because to enter here, they had to pay 27,000 rupee, until finally they are kicked out by officers. Sonny and his friends finally make a simple New Year's party on the roof of apartment. Ananya, who comes there feeling uncomfortable because they are not her level, she comes briefly to say hello to Sonny. After that she leaves to attend a party at the luxury club. Sonny and Farzi realize that they are poor people who dig holes, close the holes with debt from the bank and loan shark. New Year's Day as usual, they passed it together with the same fate. The next day, Sonny returns to the printing house. The workers are seen gathering because the debt collectors come there and forced his grandfather to immediately pay. For various ways has been done by Madhav to save this printing house, but everything was deadlocked. He decided to publish his last printing press, and after that this printing house will be officially closed. Sonny and Farzi then go to loan sharks named Ratanllah and his son Ashirwad who have been lending money for his grandfather by pawning his printing press. They came to beg for an extra time, but they refused, because they appreciated the friendship of Sonny's grandfather and Ratanllah. Sonny only given 1 month to pay off. If it's not, the printing house of his grandfather will be confiscated. Sonny's grandfather is very happy to give this printing house, because for him, this printing house is everything. Sonny doesn't want his grandfather being sad. Sonny and Farzi amassed all their savings money, and when combined with the proceeds from the sale of the motorcycle and all his paintings, still a long way to pay off his grandfather's debt. Farzi then meets a street gangster named Anis to ask him for help. Anis then introduces Farzi to the fake mafia, aka an expert in counterfeiting named Manja. At that time, Sonny has a plan to make counterfeit money. Not afraid of prison, Sonny actually remembers very well what his grandfather said: don't let the system rule you, but take a step with their skills as a design and printing expert. Sonny believes that the counterfeit money they design will be perfect. The first step is to research the real money until details, then Sonny designed it perfectly, even including micro letters written on Mahatma Gandhi's collar in denominations of 500 rupee. The next step is to print with the ink and tape that Farzi mastered. This process is quite difficult, because it has to be done up to 4 times because of the use of colors that change manually. After success printed and cut, the counterfeit money then given a safety strip which they bought for 10 rupee. The next step is to dip it in tea water so that the ink doesn't fade. After that they dried it. To test that counterfeit money accepted in the market, they then tried it to buy worsen. It turned out to be the traders can tell which money is real and fake just by holding it. As a result, they are chased by street thugs. Fortunately, they both managed to escape. But here, Sonny doesn't just give up. He determined to make another but more perfect, high-level money counterfeiting mafia, descending from his private jet, his name Mansoor and his confidant named Bilal, while the police officers who are on duty to hunt down the mafia named Michael and his deputy named Shekhar. After getting an information that Mansoor arrives at the hotel, the team immediately moving to the location. The authorities manage to ambush Mansoor and Bilal who owned a money factory. It turned out that they printed Indian currency in the Middle East, then packaged it in Nepal and distributed it in India, and in fact, it has been more than 6 years since Michael hunted down these international mafias. When they were about to be put into prison car, suddenly a group of people with a gun came to attack the officers. Mansour managed to escape, as well as Bilal, even though he had been shot in the leg. Unlucky for Michael's men, who were killed by Mansour when intercepting him. Back to Sunny, who told Firoz to feel the difference between fake and real money. They finally realized the paper they used was wrong. And then they are looking for paper that is almost the same as the real money, even though it is thin. But after being doubled, Firoz could feel exactly the same as the real money. The experiment carried out again by printing 2 parts, then they glue it together with a touch of varnish and tea water. They are able to print those counterfeit money. This time is Sunny's turn to try to use the counterfeit money to bought bottle soy sauce. It turned out that the seller received that fake money. Without the slightest suspicion, Sunny and the Firoz are really happy, because their legal hard work paid off. Back to the first scene, when Sunny and the Firoz were arrested by the mafia group, it turned out that the culprit is Mansour. After they admitted to making the fake money, suddenly Firoz killed by shot. And then the scene shows Sunny was abandoned by his mother because his mother passed away when he was 6 years old. After that he lived with his father, who was a fraudster who often moved rented houses with suitcases full of money, until one day, his father will deliver him to his grandfather's by the train. When he woke up, his father was gone, only money was seen splattered along the train tracks. Got off at one of stations. Sunny lived alone and could draw with chalk people who were passing by there. Give him a dime. It was there that Sunny for the first met Firoz that invited him survive together from this cruelty world. Sunny did not realize if his father died on the railroad tracks, until one day his grandfather managed to find him and immediately took them both to his house. It turned out that Firoz was not really shot by Mansour's gang, the Prime Minister of India and the officials. Listen to a presentation from a woman named Megha, who works at the Central Bank of India. She did research on a CT600 product that works to scan fake money 50 times more accurate. But these officials are busy with their respective gadgets, as if not so important. And then Michael came to see the presentation. With this latest technology, Megha said it can be used by using a mobile phone and downloading the application on the Play Store. But the Prime Minister did not welcome the work of his nation's person. Michael asking the Prime Minister to form a special team unit in combating the counterfeit money mafia again and again. He did not want to take care about it, because for him, elections are much more important. Firoz and Anis shows the fake money to his grandfather. Just like he sells illegal weapons, if they didn't want to be caught, the grandfather told them to sell the counterfeit money, and they kept using real money. Anis asking for Manja's help again in order to bring Sunny and Firoz to the mafia boss who was willing to buy those counterfeit money. Initially, this mafia refused because he did not want to be caught, but after challenge to distinguish between real money and counterfeit money, finally this mafia wants to buy it. Half-heartedly, he ordered 4 billion counterfeit money that Sunny had to produce. The problem is, Sunny has to buy paper, printers and dryers to produce it. Meanwhile, Michael does not run out of idea to seek the Prime Minister's approval to form his special unit. He sent a photo of sensitives of a high-ranking Indian official to pressure him. Yasser found an ADS paper picture of money that he concluded that Sunny would make counterfeit money. Sunny reassures Yasser what he did was to save this printing house and his poor grandfather. Sunny then shows the counterfeit money who made by him. After Yasser was surprised, he took him to the restaurant and immediately used the fake money to pay for it. Yasser initially panicked, but it turned out that the restaurant owner was fooled by his fake money. Yasser finally agreed to help Sunny, but he needed new printers, cutting machines, and drying machines, including other materials. After lobbying loan sharks, Sunny got a loan, but he only had 1 month to pay it off. If it fails, his house will be confiscated. Based at India's central bank, Megha is interested in Michael's eradication operations. Printing machines and dryer machine finally arrived at the printing warehouse. Meanwhile, Michael lobbied again the Prime Minister for agreed of his proposal. He guarantees that if this operation is successful, the name of the Prime Minister who is running again will be more popular. Firoz has difficulty to buying paper for the counterfeit money material in large quantities, because the government made strict rules, had no other choice. Sunny and Firoz asked for Anis's help and his gang to steal the paper directly from the factory. The security guards who were enjoying watching football were shocked by the emergence of this group of gangsters. The situation was out of control, because several security guards tried to escape. Even Firoz, who was left alone, almost beaten by the security guard if Sunny and Anis came late. They didn't want to waste time. Sunny and Firoz immediately went in to find the paper they needed, for so long looking for. Finally they managed to find the paper. Sunny deliberately stole other types of paper, so that the authorities did not suspect the real motive and seemed to be a regular theft. The big production of counterfeit money is starting to do. After finishing, the pile of counterfeit money worth $4 billion was sent to the mafia. In return, Sonny got a pocket of real money, claimed to be named an artist. This mafia boss ordered again the money to Sonny from the profits obtained. Finally, Sonny was able to pay off all his grandfather's debts to the loan shark. When his grandfather received the certificate of his printing warehouse, he wondered where Sonny got the money to pay his debts. They reasoned that they get down payment from the new business they received. For the first time, Sonny dating his girlfriend at a fancy restaurant, Ananya still thinking that Sonny is a poor man who used to eat at a cheap restaurant. Because of that, she used her credit card to pay for their food, because she believed that Sonny had no money, which surprised. Ananya says that she should be married soon to a rich man who chosen by her parents. After eating, Sonny told the waiter to return the credit card to Ananya. At first, he wanted to pay with real money, but he decided to use his counterfeit money. It's Mega's turn and her mother's chosen husband to be eat at this restaurant, even though she is a specialist doctor. But Mega is not so interested in him. After paying, here, Mega gets changed that she suspects it's a counterfeit money. The Prime Minister finally give the green light to Michael to form a special force to eradicate counterfeit money. The printing company employees were finally called again to work, because it cost money to pay them. Sonny asked Yasser for help producing his counterfeit money for the last time. Mega and her friend checked the counterfeit money, which almost perfect. After a deeper investigation using CT600, it turned out that the money used 2 layers of their paper. They are believing the culprit is only a small scale who uses a standard printer but has a great talent, and the scene shows Michael, who is the head of the special counterfeiting unit, is exposing the circulation and smuggling routes of Indian counterfeit money to all members of his task force. Shekhar added his opinion that the operation of Indian counterfeit money is run by Mansoor Dalal, an international counterfeiting expert who became the main target of this task force. His confidant is Jitendra Joshi, and Bilal turned out to be main distributor of Mansoor. Mega asked her superiors for approval to investigate the source of the counterfeit money, but because they were neither officials nor law enforcement, he refused it. A mafia boss named Lakdawala contacted Manja, because he has a big boss who has a wider network to distribute counterfeit money from Sonny. Manja then contacts Anis, and Anis forwards it to Firoz. Michael came to a state agency that kept counterfeit money evidence for him to borrow as a sample of his operation. This officer used part of the counterfeit money to buy 2 latest iPhone series for his child and Shekhar's child. Meanwhile, Sonny and Firoz escorted Lakdawala to meet his big boss named Doshi. Unmitigated, he ordered 20 crore or equal to $2.5 million of fake money. Sonny and Firoz only have 2 weeks to produce them and send them directly to Suraj. Yasser reminded Sonny, who had previously promised not to make any more counterfeit money, but Sonny, who was possessed by greed, did not respond to advice from Yasser. New problems arise, because the stock of papers is running low and this time it is no longer possible for them to steal them. Meanwhile, Michael, who is already on the verge of divorce with his wife, gives the iPhone for his child as a birthday present. Mega asks her superior's approval to join Michael's forgery task force for approximately 6 months. A grandfather forced by Firoz making an ID cards for the need to form fictive companies in the field of publishers so that they could order the paper needed for the production of counterfeit money. Dozens of Indian girls were interviewed for choose a suitable one as an admin officer. Meanwhile, Mega came to the task force office made by Michael to deliver her CT600 directly while handing over a CV, and then Mega testing the fake money gave by Shekhar with her software she made. She hopes all ATM in India can use her CT600 chip. Shortly, it's been a week. Mega joins, but there is nothing she can do. Remembering the counterfeit money, Mega asks Michael to investigate the owners of the printing press who was in the vicinity of the restaurant where she found the fake money, but Michael turned it down because the money he believed came from the perpetrator who carried out the operation small scale, while their main target is Mansoor. Secretly, Mega takes the stamp of his superior so that she can get permission from the police to search the printing factory. Mega then asks police's help to check one by one of the printing factory. At night, their last destination is the printing house. At the same time, Sonny and Firoz are producing their counterfeit money. They are surprised when they saw the police car approaching. While the engine could not be turned off before the molding process complete, the first step is to turn off the lights and hide the counterfeit money. Yasser was called by police could not be lie until he was forced to come to meet them through the back door. Because Mega approached to the front gate, Sonny immediately turned off the engine when the last print finished. Mega had heard the sound of the engine before finally silence. Yassine says it was just the ghost of the factory who was often prankster with the machine. Sonny and Firoz immediately hid inside the office when Mega went inside. Even he had time to take the wrench and stand behind Mega. He was worried this woman finds a piece of paper with a picture of a counterfeit money. Suddenly Mega's phone ringing. Michael is angry because Mega searched the printing house without his knowledge, even faked the stamp. Sonny can breathe a sigh of relief because they finally left. when they returned to continue the production, suddenly his grandfather appeared and found some counterfeit money. Because of his grandfather is senile, he tells Sonny to pay his debt with this money. Meanwhile, Mega gets a final warning from Michael not to do this again. Shortly, Sonny and Farzi sent those $2.5 million counterfeit money to Suraj, the border police, asking them to show the documents. After that, they were told to open the door of the tub. Sonny reasoned that they only brought ordinary directory magazines. Because officers almost found the counterfeit money, Sonny deliberately lured so that these officers found bottles of an alcohol drink inside it. After negotiations, they agreed to take the bottle plus bribes worth 30,000 rupee. Arrives at the meeting place, Sonny handed over $2.5 million as counterfeit money to Mafia. As payment, Sonny receives 2 bags of real money. Feeling successful with this illegal business, they are spree at a nightclub. But when they returned to the printing house, his grandfather was immediately angry and deeply disappointed after knowing what Sonny had done. And Farzi, even though for his grandfather, this printing press was like a temple that should not be allowed tainted. Madhav remembered that he lost his daughter because of Sonny's father, and now his suffering is increasing because of Sonny's illegal actions. And then the scene shows the Prime Minister announced a protection programs for money in circulation, namely Darakshak, made by Michael and his team. In the first month, the machine will be operational in the entire banks in India. Michael allowed to take his son named Vyam for 2 days, but he had to promise to his wife to take care of him and also his food, because Michael gave him bad food. As a result, his son had diarrhea. After stopping printing counterfeit money, Sonny back to his old profession as a street artist, although many people who like his paintings, but Sonny feels dissatisfied because the money he gets is too little. After being kicked out by his grandfather, Yasser advises Sonny to apologize to his grandfather, but Sonny feels innocent, plus the impulse of his bad behavior invites him to return to the misguided path. Mega is having problems with the apartment she rents because has expired the contract, therefore, she had to find a new place to live. After a long separation of houses, Michael's wife officially filed for divorce for him. Yasser found a problem because Madhav was not found in the printing house or in his house, so that he contacted Sonny to ask Sonny for help. Sonny then invites Farzi to find his grandfather's whereabouts. Meanwhile, Michael vents his anger at Arjun because he knows this man who is close to his wife came to the police station. Sonny had to be patient with the queue. He was disappointed because a rich man could easily met the police chief and pass the queue, so disappointed. Sonny vents his anger that poor people don't seem to be considered, even though he also pay the taxes. Because they are accused of making a fuss, Sonny and Farzi must feel the tightness of prison room. Yasser came to police station to guarantee that Sonny and Farzi can be released, and luckily, Sonny's grandfather has been found walking in an alley. Although it often makes trouble, Sonny still loves his grandfather, does not want his grandfather's senile disease to get worse. Sonny plans to take him to a specialist doctor. In the morning, Michael gets a report that the Darakshak program have been installed in banks and financial institutions to narrow the space for counterfeit money circulation. Even ordinary people who have mobile phones can check their money wherever they are. Mega, who designed this program, gets appraised. After an initial examination, the doctor suggested to Sonny to do surgery, which was handled directly by the specialist, but because this kind of expert doctor is so rare, it took several months to prepare. When treating his team to one of the bars, Michael vented his anger to a female journalist named Kamala, whom he met there. When Mega drove Michael, who was heavily drunk, to go home, Shekhar then tells Michael's past story with that journalist. At that time, Kamala revealed the story of Michael and his colleague named Dev. They actually became high-ranking officials in this counterfeiting prevention affair. At that time, they found fake money from drug searches, but because of the cartel, he did money in political games that Mansoor and his organization. Michael framed with 13 cases. Fortunately, the Prime Minister withdrew his charges, but he was suspended from his position, was demoted to drunkenness until his wife left him. Even worse, Dev, who, frustrated at choosing to commit suicide, after the spread of the device, reports of counterfeit money discoveries spread across India. The Prime Minister has been praised because the program considered successfully. Scene moved to Jordania. Mansoor and his mafia organization got angry because the counterfeit money they printed failed to be distributed. Chitu then showed another fake money who were able to pass the machine that they knew the counterfeit money was made by an artist nicknamed the Artist, who meant Sonny, his man, and then sent to carrying Sonny and Farzi back to the earlier scene when they were kidnapped by his mafia. Sonny confesses to Mansoor that he was the one who made the counterfeit money, and then he is told to check the shortcomings of the counterfeit money who made by this mafia. Despite paper quality is best, but the watermark and line above Gandhi's head looks overlapping, plus the microprint is very bad. With a slight touch of his hand, Sonny believes that counterfeit money can be fixed and passed the detection machine. Because needs people like him, Mansoor offers Sonny to work together. Initially, Sunny refuses, because he doesn't want to hurt his grandfather anymore, but Mansoor persuades Sunny, who has always wanted to become rich, who has wealth and power. Because Sunny refuses again, Mansoor got angry, threatens to kill them both including his grandfather, and destroys his printing house. There is no choice, Sunny is forced to accepting his offering. After being released, Farzi actually disagrees with Sunny's decision, despite his reasons for the sake of his grandfather. And then the scene shows Sunny and Farzi are brought to Middle East to redesign counterfeit money denominations of 2,000 Indian rupee or around $25. After that, they both saw a super sophisticated machine made in Germany to produce them. Experiment after experiment was carried out until finally the money passed from the detection machine. Mansoor then introduced them to his two confidants, namely Bilal and G2, after they agreed that the counterfeit money was produced in large quantities. Michael then immediately directed his men after getting information from his informant that Bilal is in Bangladesh. Sunny and Farzi then return to the printing house and bring a souvenir, his grandfather reminding Sunny not to be enslaved by money. Came to the hospital, Sunny and Yasser shocked because this best specialist doctor in this country has scheduled surgery for his grandfather next Friday. Even the cost has been borne by someone. It turns out that Mansoor arranged all of this so that Sunny indebted to him, and then Michael cooperates with the Bangladesh military to capture Bilal. They has been tracking down Bilal and his accomplice who are heading to a location, but Michael only can wait because this capture operation only be able carried out by the Bangladesh military. The troops had ready waiting in the location, waiting for this mafia group to fall into a trap. But Bilal is smart enough, realized that this forest area has been surrounded by the military after seeing traces from tires the military jeep. Therefore, he decided to turn around. Not wanting to lose the target for second times, Michael decided to pursue them, with the help of the Bangladesh military, which eventually helped Michael. Finally, this mafia gang is cornered in a location after a chase and the gunshot. Bilal had escaped, but Shekhar managed to catch him. Mansoor's colleague in his mafia organization named Syra comes to see him. She is disappointed because Bilal is caught who could be endanger their organization. Evidently, they have a boss who has not shown up yet. Syra urges Mansoor to find Bilal's replacement as distribution leader. And then Michael takes Bilal to the border of India. After feeding him, Michael promises to make him disappear with a new identity wherever he goes, as long as he is willing to disclose information about his organization. Because Bilal refuses, Michael immediately shoots him in the leg. From his wallet, Michael found fake money is almost perfect, because it can pass the detection machine. Sunny was surprised because Mansoor and his men come to visit his grandfather. This mafia pretends to be good even though he wants to take an advantage of Sunny's weakness so that he could be easily use him. Because Bilal was caught, Mansoor assigns Sunny to infiltrate Michael's task force so that they can get an information about their entire plan. Again and again, Sunny has no choice because he is already drowned. Yasser was angry with him because he knew that mafia were using Sunny, but this street artist did not want to hear him. Because of his rude words and stubborn, Yasser decided to get out and wouldn't help Sunny anymore. Michael persuaded Bilal again to provide an information about his accomplice, distributors, and supply routes, because if he release him, Mansoor will still kill him. Megan is contacted by her mother again to get acquainted with other man she has chosen. Tired of the style of arranged marriage by her mother, Mega chose hang out to a cafe either by chance or accidentally. Sunny was there to enjoy a cup of coffee. Sunny introduced himself with Sandeep's name. Meanwhile, Bilal reveals an information about someone who made the counterfeit money for Mansoor, nicknamed Artist. Because heard Mega was looking for a rented apartment, Sunny offers to help her through a broker he knows. From there, they exchange phone number. Bilal will give Mansoor's confidant's identity, who close with him, but Michael must promise to protect him too. It turns out that this is Sunny's strategy to approach Mega so that he gets an information from every plan of the task force, and then Mega sees an apartment with Sunny's help and her friend. This beautiful woman is quite satisfied because the view facing the sea. At that time, Sunny pretended to borrow her phone. Actually, he has installed eavesdropping software in it. Mega feels attracted to Sunny because of his kindness. And then Mega invites Sunny to lunch on Saturday, until where the hacker software works properly. It is proven that when Mega gets a message from her mother, Sunny can see it too. And then the scene shows Sunny comes to meet Mansoor to discussing the arrest of Bilal. They must quickly remove the trillions of those counterfeit money before being taken by the authorities. Sunny is willing to help him, but Mansoor must give a 15% reward as he promised. Michael appointed a lawyer to handle the divorce lawsuit filed by his wife. With full confidence, this lawyer convinces Michael that he will win the case out of court because Michael does not want this divorce. In a safe house location, Michael's team shows to Bilal some photos to find Sunny's identity, but they haven't managed to find it because their target is not in the database of criminals. And then Shekhar showed the voice of a recording from his informant that used code language for Bilal to translate it, it's mean, this mafia group could no longer use Bangladesh and Pakistan route to distribute the counterfeit money. Bilal guessed they were going through Burma because it was best option. Michael surprised because the amount of counterfeit money reached 12,000 crore. Here for the first time, Sunny invited by Megha to have lunch together as a form of her gratitude for helping her find an apartment. When they were enjoying the lunch, suddenly Ananya appeared. Ananya is not ashamed to disturb their lunch. Ananya is jealous because Sunny can get a new girlfriend, but Megha and Sunny still enjoy, confessing that they have been in a relationship for 2 months. It was proven when Megha deliberately fed Sunny to make Ananya more jealous. Back to Michael and his team, who were discussing a case of smuggling counterfeit money worth 12.000 crore. Megha calculated that if each denomination of counterfeit money of 2,000 rupee weighs 1 gram, then the total weight can reach 60 tons. The first step taken is to keep an eye on every incoming cargo from Burma and some other neighboring countries so that they do not miss. The same strategy done by Sunny and his team, so that the counterfeit money could enter India through a route that the authorities would never have expected, because Sunny had tapped Megha's phone, so he knew every plan that would be carried out by the task force. Therefore, shipments through the Sri Lanka route would be cancelled by Sunny, because the authorities had already sniffed out his plans. When Sunny and Megha were snacking, every message who enters Megha's phone, Sunny must have accepted it. Michael collected the phones of all his members because he began to get frustrated after his target always knew the plan of this task force, as well as Sunny telling Mansoor if there is an undercover officer informant as his subordinate. The reason is, every time Sunny will decide the plan of shipment, the officer could find out. When checking Megha's mobile phone, the head of this task force had asked Megha, "Who is Sandeep?" Megha replied, "He is just a friend." Sunny doing a teleconference with Mansoor, after all his shipment route knowing by the officer, Mansoor had a last way, which he called a Trojan horse. A truck was stopped by the border military on suspicion was carrying counterfeit money. When Michael checked it, it turned out that there were only some money that he found, same reports received from other border areas, but counterfeit money was confiscated for only a few billions, although this is considered the largest case disclosure in Indian history. In fact, Michael is very dissatisfied. Megha finally found the answer, because all the counterfeit money that they confiscated is a Mansoor's old stock, as a distraction, and then Michael contacted Galit to requested that the press conference about the counterfeit money be postponed, but the Prime Minister refused it, because he had planned this to increase popularity. Meanwhile, Mansoor assigned Sunny and his team to carry out the Trojan horse plan, as Israel did to supply its weapons. Sunny and his team came to port, buying a tanker ship that was obsolete and almost become the scrap iron. Broker in there told Sunny to find Captain Tal and a woman named Svetlana as his translator. After negotiations, they agreed that ship bought at a price $80,000. Mansoor's confident man named Jamal gave his money to buy the ship. Not only that, Sunny and Firoz must join the ship to ensure the 12.000 crore of that counterfeit money could enter India. Shortly, the ship started sailing from the Middle East to India. Only one problem for them, it is seasickness. After a few days sailing, Sunny got an information from Jamal that at the port, dozens of officials were preparing to wait for the arrival of his ship. Sunny quite surprised because he had to thought of another safe way and avoid being arrested. When Sunny asked the captain to return to Oman, it couldn't be done because of materials burn this ship, which is not enough, and this old ship will not be able to sail again. Here the captain had a good suggestion, but Sunny had to pay for it doubling. After Sunny agreed, the captain would bring this ship to Mumbai. Sunny was again surprised because the port of Mumbai was very crowded and dangerous. Apparently all they did was sink 3 containers containing the counterfeit money near Mumbai in depth 12 meters. After that, they all left the ship. Indians who were vacationing on one of the beaches were surprised by the appearance of this huge ship. The news went viral because no one of the crew were found on the ship. Michael and his team came there to investigate. Meanwhile, Sunny and his team returned to the point they sank the ship with GPS guidance that they had installed in the money container. Michael has to be disappointed, because inside the ship was not found a single sheet the counterfeit money. That container then taken to a storage warehouse in India. And here is Sunny and Firoz, who are sitting on a pile of 12.000 crore counterfeit money. With a commission of 15% of the 12.000 crore that Sunny and Firoz get, that means they get 3,000 crore, because of the money he earned. 2 poor young men who had been homeless since childhood, now turned into rich. Luxury car and apartments could easily they bought. The Prime Minister cornered by journalists' questions, because he claimed to have exposed cases of counterfeit money circulation, but none of the culprits who was arrested. And then Michael told him that they were caught up with the syndicate that managed to get counterfeit money into India, which amounted to 12.000 crore. Because these counterfeit money could pass from sophisticated machine made by Mega, he called it super money. To be able to distinguish the money is real or fake, when burn it, fake money will cause a red flame. With a lot of money they have, Sunny and Firoz developed the magazine belongs to his grandfather, more modern by publishing it in online, computer facilities and IT teams they deliberately provided so that this printing house can develop again, in memory of his street profession. Sunny and his grandfather then make face paintings of each other and the results are equally good. When his grandfather gives money, Sunny idly checks the authenticity of the money. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister gives Michael and his team a final chance to uncover the case, otherwise his task force will be disbanded, including firing him from the police. Yasser expresses his disappointment to Sunny, because he knows all his wealth and wealth comes from crime. In his divorce trial, Michael's lawyers were defeated in debate by his wife's lawyers who kept shedding their reasons for divorce from Michael. Finally, Michael fires his lawyer who could only talk behind Judge. Sunny comes to Mega's apartment to give her his first painting which he made when he was 11 years old. Beside collecting a coin from various parts of the world, Mega also collected several counterfeit money. Mega believes the creator must be an artist who is not looking for fame, but results. But in the end they have to languish in prison. The obsession of the perpetrator will be a weakness because in the fake paper there must be some kind of signature in it. When Sunny seeing his favorite counterfeit money, it turned out to be made by Sunny. Mega called this counterfeit money on a small scale, whereas Sunny is the artist who produced the counterfeit money up to 12.000 crore. Their relationships get closer after Sunny takes her for a walk. After that, they do it together. In the morning, Sunny secretly deleted the eavesdropping software that he installed on Mega's phone. Meanwhile, Mega remembered with her old counterfeit money. Mansoor pressured Sunny to distribute the counterfeit money because only 10% could be circulated. Mega reported to her superiors that the 500 rupee counterfeit note that she got with $2,000 note now in circulation, it was confirmed that the maker was the same. Proof it can be seen from the symbol of the letter S that was deliberately made from the two money. A businessman and politician named Doshi was visited by Michael to look for clues from the counterfeit 500 note made for the first time by Sunny. Michael wants Doshi to help him catch the artist aka Sunny, and in return Doshi will escape the pursuit from CBI. Doshi is ready to help him but he needs assurances directly from the Prime Minister, but the Prime Minister has already blocked his mobile number when Michael tried to contact him. Because annoyed, Michael then goes to Kamala to solve their old problems. After that, Michael gives her news about super money. The news goes viral about the entry of the counterfeit money into Indians who reached 12.000 crore. Michael deliberately did this so that Galat would be serious about calling him. Even though he was angry because of the leak of the case of the money to news media, but Michael convinced the Prime Minister to contact Doshi, because their main target now is the artist, who became the artist who made Mansoor's counterfeit money. After receiving assurances from the Prime Minister, Doshi directly contact Lakdawala, and Lakdawala contact Manja. Anis met Firoz. Beck used Doshi wanted to make another transaction. Sunny who was with Mega was contacted by Firoz and at that time, they are negotiate the purchase of counterfeit money, even though Doshi wants to trap them both on the orders of Michael. Doshi wants Sunny and Firoz to send the money directly. Sunny asks for only 1 day to consider it. For this arrest plan, Mega proposes herself to Michael to go into the field. Sunny is still hesitant with his 100 crore order who coming from Doshi, because if they caught, then their fate would end up in prison. Mansoor got pressure from the higher-ups his organization to immediately release the 12.000 of counterfeit money into the market, because of his carelessness involving beginner person to produce his counterfeit money in fantastic quantity. They met Michael to give up their divorce because this is indeed the best of the various problems that often occur between them. Mansoor is surprised because there are still so many counterfeit money. His confidant then whispered that the traitor they had found in accordance with the information Sunny had given to him. Mansoor immediately shot the traitor as well as threatened Sunny not to doing the same to him. Michael got an information that the artist accepted an offer given by Doshi. Firoz just realizes that Sunny has deleted the eavesdropper on Mega's phone. He doesn't understand Sunny because he has cheated and also loves Mega. Officially, Michael and Rekha divorced, although this is not what he wants. Madhav asks Sunny not to get into trouble, even though now he is rich, because he has nightmares that bad thing will happen to him. Michael discusses the plan to capture Sunny by mobilizing all his members who will be scattered at various points close to the meeting location. Sunny then came to the basement with a silver car while Firoz drive a red car and the money in it. Mega assigned by Michael to the meeting location driving a white car. From distance, Sunny saw that white car as the party who would buy his counterfeit money. Because the distance was too far, Sunny did not can see clearly even though Mega who is in it. Sunny will try to ensure this transaction is safe. Meanwhile, Mega decided to get out from her car because she didn't see any movement from the perpetrator. Suddenly, Sunny saw Mega and realized this was a trap. While Mega couldn't see clearly that Sunny who was in the car, Sunny decided to go and was immediately chased by Michael's team. He managed to escape, then got into the Farzi's car. When they will go, Michael blocked them. Sunny claims to be a janitor, while Michael shows his gun. When his confidant found that silver car empty, Michael intending to prevent Sunny from leaving, but he is immediately escape. The chasing between them ensued. The forces chased Sunny and Farzi in the midst of severe traffic. Dozens of police back and forth chasing them, very ridiculous. Fortunately, the situation of the street back to normal, because they don't want to end up in this prison. This is what they do. Much of counterfeit money deliberately scattered on the streets so that residents scramble with each other and cause crazy traffic. Suddenly Sunny loses control until his car overturns. Residents comes again to take those flying money. In that moment, Sunny and Farzi leave and Michael failed to catch them. The news about counterfeit money being stocked on the streets went viral all over India. The people who got the money are certainly happy because the money was considered genuine because it could pass the detector machine. After the Prime Minister scolded him for this mess, instead, Michael planned to publish Mansoor to news media to restrict his movement. Mansoor was shocked because he has become headlines in India. Meanwhile, Sunny and Farzi hide in a small rented house. Sunny and Farzi worries if Mansoor will kill them because of this problem, even though the police do not mention them in media, but still feels that his identity has been recognized by the authorities. Their fate has been completely destroyed. For make sure his identity is still safe or not, Sunny comes to Mega's house to invite her to relax. He sees Mega's laptop lit up containing journals related to counterfeiting money. Because she claimed to be busy, Mega refused Sunny's invitation, and then Sunny contacted Jamal. Because of lost those money, Mansoor was very angry with him, but Jamal will still arrange a safe house for Sunny and Farzi at a location in the Middle East. Mansoor got an order from Superior to move those counterfeit money. In fact, Mansoor is in an unsafe condition due to the threat of extradition and his wanted list status as the most wanted person, and his organization does not want to protect Mansoor anymore, because the risk is too great for his business and organization. Mansoor orders Jamal to finish off Sunny and Farzi. Jitu then ordered to return to India today. The IT team tried to identify Sunny's face using an algorithmic sketch aided by Michael's memory because he had seen the culprit. Jitu and Jamal picked up Sunny and Farzi to bring to the safe house. Sunny feels something wrong with them. Arriving at a location, Sunny and Farzi will be executed, but suddenly, Anis and his group of gangsters come to save them. It turns out that Sunny had prepared this plan because he realized Mansoor would kill him. After leaving, Sunny immediately contacted Yasser to take his grandfather out of town, but his phone could not be reached. Anis then put them in the rented house and gave Sunny a gun. Soon, Yasser gave bad news that their printing house had been burned down while his grandfather was inside. Sunny was really shocked and didn't expect what happened to his grandfather. Anis came back with bring train tickets so that they immediately left this city. Sunny asked Farzi to leave first and promised to catch up with him. He takes the gun given by Anis for revenge, while Sunny's facial identification process was still in progress. At night, without any doubt, Sunny immediately shot Jamal because he believed he was the one who burned his printing house on Mansoor's orders. Sneaked into warehouse, Sunny killing one by one Mansoor's confidants. Sunny were overwhelmed when facing them. When he took gasoline, Sunny saw Jitu trying to run away. After being shot, he was forced to open the door of his money warehouse. With his phone, Sunny had a video call with Mansoor. That's when Sunny doused these all of counterfeit money with gasoline and set them on fire. As revenge for killing his grandfather, Sunny threatened to hunt him down wherever he goes. Mansoor did not expect the results of his work to end up to be dust, and after that the movie is end.